Belle. Welcome to my channel. And this is an unboxing and setup of my 2026 planner. For 2026, I am kind of going back to my roots. Last year, I used a happy planner. It's great. I got nothing bad to say about it. But I like a bullet journal. And I saw this one on Amazon, and I thought, yep, it's calling out to me. It is my style exactly. It's got holographic edging. It has kind of a witchy bohemian cover, and it just kind of sealed the deal for me. Yep, this is what we are doing. We are going back to our roots, back to a blank book that I can fill with my thoughts, feelings, and everything else. And check it out. It came with such a cute little bookmark. Now, when I start planning, I am going to flip the camera around so it's right side up for you. But for now, isn't that cute? I love it. I will not be using it in this book, but I still love it. And it's got the boho thing, and it's holographic. And y'all know I'm a freaking crow. I love anything shiny. So the first thing I have to do, and no, I did not film all of this, is I went through every frickin' page and marked down what it was going to be for. Okay, well, first thing I did was write my name in it. But I have a little tiny mark in the corner of each page written in very faint pencil what it's supposed to be. And I'll be honest, okay, I don't have a super elaborate setup for my bullet journal. I enjoy making the super elaborate setups and doing all the art and all the things, but that takes a long time, and I want to start this in October, as you can see with me writing the word October on here. So there will be months where I do a super elaborate, artsy, sketchy, looking really fabulous front cover, and then there will be months where I kind of do the bare minimum to make it look kind of cool. And this particular style of lettering, I am determined to learn to make look right. But after 40 years of practice at it, it's still, I'm not happy with how it looks. Not even a little bit. But I have been trying to do the whole semi-outline thing since I was about 5. And I can't say it looks any better now than it did when I was 5. But there you go. That's what I chose to do for October. And at this point, I realized there was no way I was going to make this cover look anything like what I wanted it to look like. It's just not happening. So the one thing I can say is I used a different color scheme for me. You know, I used purple and orange and dark green, where normally I avoid orange like the plague. So yay. Original thought was I was going to keep it fairly Halloween-y, and then as I started pulling out stickers, well, you'll see what I chose. I'm sure it comes as a surprise to absolutely nobody that I abandoned my dreams of doing something dark, twisty, and horror-like for Halloween, Samhain, in October, and instead went with crystals. Yeah, I found some darker and green-colored crystals, and that's what we stuck on the cover. But hey, it's a theme, it's consistent, and who doesn't like crystals? It does bother me that 3 are realistic looking crystals and 1 is very much an artsy, but I'll live with it. Nothing's perfect. We're going to call it my Amish crystal. That is indeed a reference to quilting, where the Amish always put in 1 block upside down because the only person who is perfect is God. Okay, this second page in my monthly section is always going to be a monthly calendar. And the first thing I am doing here, why do I have a pen in my hand when I haven't drawn lines? What the hell am I doing? Why did I do this? I need, there's neither ruler nor, okay, whoo. I was freaking myself out. And like, I'm the one who did this, but it still freaked me out because I do not draw lines without a ruler. That does not work for me. I know some of you can, but I cannot, and I want straight lines. So I have already penciled kind of in my dots where I need things to be. I really like having the days, and I like my monthly calendar to go Sunday through Saturday. However, my weekly calendars always go Monday through Sunday, and that annoys a lot of people. And I get it, I hear you, but I have a reason. And that reason is it ain't your calendar, it's mine, and that's what works for me. So that's what we're doing. And if you don't like it, you can do yours differently. Sorry. I just, monthly calendars do not start on a Monday. They just don't. And my weekly calendar, my week starts on Monday. So that's just what works for me. And at this second, I realized I made a mistake. Because normally I leave the last few days of the previous month. I don't draw the line there so that I can like do some cool artwork there or something. Yep, that's not happening. I'm just going to be writing September dates in there. That's okay. Every mistake is an opportunity for a new creative. Yeah, I'm still pissed right now that I did that. I'm so mad at myself. This is not. It broke my system. And see, I'm also, as I'm drawing this page, remembering why I needed a break from Bujo. Because I make mistakes that piss myself off. Not regularly, but on a often enough basis that I get frustrated at least once a month. I get frustrated several times this month, I'll tell you that right now. So here, I have already done the calculations. This particular book is 30, what is it? I have it written down. 38 boxes tall by 26 wide. So if I make the boxes 6 by 6 square and I put 3 on the first page and 4 on the second, that is the ideal grid space for a calendar. And then I put 2 boxes on top to write the date. Yes, I do all of that calculation. And even though I have done it and I remember it and I have a video of me saying it, I promise you I will redo the calculation every month. And I will be using this particular bullet journal until June of next year. And I will recalculate every freaking month because I won't remember. It's already tripping me up a little bit because the lectern, I usually get a lectern 1912. And a lectern 1912 is 26 by 36 or 26 by 37. Depending on if you count first dot to last dot or box numbers. And this is 1 box bigger, which means that the dots are slightly closer together, which throws me off a little bit. And it shouldn't be that big a deal. It really shouldn't. It really is. Just like that line pissed me off. I'm pausing there because I realized the line that I started at the top is not the line I ended up at the bottom, which means the entire freaking calendar is going to be slightly cattywampus. Like I said, I'm remembering why I have to take a break from bullet journals every so often because they piss off the OCD. But at this point, I'm committed. And I love this journal, and I've just accepted that October is going to be the month where I remember how the hell to do this, so the rest of the year turns out the way it's supposed to. God, I hope, because if I do this every month, I will drive myself and I will drive Wolf crazy. Because all I will see is my mistakes. Thanks, Mom. Yes, I've spent time in therapy about this. No, it's never, ever going to get better. I have childhood trauma, and I have OCD, and it just annoys me. Yeah, those, test your OCD. Find the tile that was put in the wrong place. Those take me 2 seconds at most. Every damn time. So, yeah. And if you didn't notice that I drew one line wonky, congratulations, you're normal. I, however, am not. And I'm trying my best to be somewhat creative with this, and I fail. Other months will be more creative. This month really was just, how the hell did I ever do this? And well, what do I need now? Because what I need now changes so much from year to year. But yeah, there I am, writing the dates in. At least I've gotten to where I like my handwriting, so I don't need to like use stickers and stamps and stuff. Because I don't like how using too many stickers like makes your book super full, and using stencils like leaves weird gaps. And I don't have a whole lot of stamps. I successfully destashed my stamps. So I have very few of them, although you will see some used here in a minute. I did mollify myself by using the very lightest color in my color scheme to write in the September dates. So there's that. That orange is neon orange. I know you can't see it on camera, but trust me, it's there. And I know I got my numbers right, so yay, I succeeded in doing one thing correct on this page. I'm not usually this hard on myself. Yes, I am. Who are we kidding? This is me when I'm doing art. You're getting my inner monologue. So if you are an artist, and believe me, right now it hurts to call myself that, but I have accepted I am an artist. I do occasionally create art. I don't consider my October spread to be art, but I'm an artist because I do sometimes create art. I think a lot of us have this inner monologue when we're working of, oh my God, this sucks. What are you doing? You're the worst person on earth. How dare you call yourself an artist? This is pathetic. What do you think you're doing? You are horrible. Why are you doing that? That is not what you meant to do. You screwed that up. Should you fix it? Nope, just keep going. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on inside the mind of a lot of artists. And what appears to be confidence is just a grim acceptance of it's going to look stupid. My only hope is to trust the process, like writing a big old line there, like I was going to write October, and see if I left it right there. If I left it right there, it looks okay. Don't do anything else. Just drop the pen. No, do not pick that up. Do not pick that up. Son of a bitch, I did it. Okay. This is another writing style that I wish I could do. And I tried it a different way than I normally do. And it looks okay. But it does not look how it looked in my head. And that's what bothers me. What letter is that? Oh, B, I guess. If I had just left it the really wide cursive, it would have looked so much better. But no. But that doesn't look as bad, except for the random green, like, curve. Why did I do that? I have no idea why I did that. And this thing that I'm about to do, don't do this. It does not look good. Just stop. Nope, I'm committed. We're going to do it. But we're never going to do it again because that looks stupid. Now you can't read any of it. But we are going to take the leftover stickers I saw that were kind of witchy, and we're going to go ahead and put some witchy stuff around here. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to skip past that to the end, though. So now I've got all the stickers on, and I've pretty much got my monthly page, at least where I want it. I am going to do one last thing here. I like to know the moon phases. I am a witch. They matter. So I've got moon stamps, and I put the different phases on the correct dates. This is the stamp I use for full moon. Then I use the half moon for the quarter moons, or whatever you call them. I know I should know, but I'm not thinking. And I also didn't think, oh crap, there's going to be ink on the half that doesn't have the moon. I should wipe that off. I did do it with the second one, thank goodness, though. Well, I almost didn't. And then I thought, wait a minute, there's ink. I should clean that off so it looks a little cleaner. And I do keep paper towels over here for just this purpose. So there we go, nice and clean. Now we won't have that shadow effect there that looks kind of like a Death Star blowing apart. Yeah, there we go. That looks correct. Now, the new moon should technically have no moon, but then I can't see it. It's an empty circle. So instead I use this really itty bitty crescent to represent the new moon. And because of the way things fall, technically in October we're going to have 2 days of new moon, but I'm only marking the first one. Also, the full moon in October is a supermoon. It's the first of 3 supermoons we're going to have in October, which is pretty cool. We also have a total of 3 quarter or half moons, so it's going to be an interesting month. Yeah. Lots of moon activity in October. Will I do any rituals or anything to go coincide with those? We'll see. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I do it when it feels right. So there is my pretty much finished. Oh, no, wait. I have to put in my activities that I know I'll be doing because I go to trivia every other Tuesday and we kick ass. We've won 4 out of 5. So I've got my trivia written in, so I remember that I've got that week. Wolf goes to D&D every Tuesday. It's kind of our one night we spend with our non-couple friends, although all of our friends get along with each other and like we get along with each other's friends, so it's kind of cool. I could go to his D&D, but I don't because they like having boys night. So up next is what in the past has been my daily gratitude page, where I try to think of and write down at least one thing that happens each day that I am grateful for, or one thing that exists in my life each day that I am grateful for. But you know what? My God, dog, did you just fart? Holy cow, that stinks. Be glad we don't have smell-o-vision. Some days my thoughts aren't gracious, and I have realized that's okay. And I also very much, in theory, want to journal a little bit of my life, but that is not something I ever keep up. So rather than try to make a journal page that I'll never keep up, or a gratitude page where some days I'm just not very gracious, I am combining the two into the thought of the day. And I start at the bottom to just make sure that I leave myself enough room. A number from 31 to 1, because there are 31 days in October, and each day gets a line where I can write a thought or a sentence or a word that represents that day. And I have kind of abandoned the orange here for the most part because I don't like neon orange. Not even a little bit, but I am going to use it to separate it because I need to have some orange in here to continue my color theming. So this is going to be a whole lot of me drawing a ton of straight lines and figuring out how best to do so. So I'm going to skip to the end. So now that I've got all of the lines drawn, I have all of the numbers drawn. I like to have them slightly separated. Why? I don't know. I just do. I did have to switch pens because my neon orange pen died. Oh no, I'm so upset. It went in the trash, and I told Wolf I'm throwing away the pens that die because then I will know when it is time to buy new pens. And it's already pretty close to that time because I am getting low on color options, which means I'm going to have some creative color stuff this year. And I decided to just go ahead because this is a darker orange and write thoughts of the day. I did not measure it out, but it happened to fit. And this is the way I usually do my bigger background and then the script in the center, where I write the background solid first and then I do the smaller one in between. But I usually do standard lettering for the large one and then just the cursive in the middle. So yes, I screwed this up again, and my writing shakes the camera. Sorry. It still doesn't look how I wanted it to look, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work. So that's my thought of the day side. And then the other side is probably the part of the planner that I miss most when I don't do a bullet journal. And the part that is in every bullet journal and really hasn't changed formats much since I started bullet journaling. And that is my habit tracker. Because it helps me be consistent on certain things. And this one, again, is a whole lot of line drawing because I need to have a square for every day. As far as how many habits, I kind of just guesstimate where I want my title to be because there is no set number of habits I need. But it is a sideways page. So here I am kind of deciding what's this going to look like. And then deciding I'm going to write the word habits and realizing I don't remember if there's 1B or 2. So yes, I had to grab my damn phone and ask it how to spell habits. Yes, I was an English teacher. Yes, I should know how to spell this, Yes, I have literally written it in a bullet journal probably 200 times. And yes, every freaking time I have to ask Siri how to spell habits. I suck at spelling. If you haven't figured that out by now, well, thank you for the red wavy lines on most things that tell me when I spell things wrong on the computer. Not doing anything fancy with the title here. This really is going to be a utilitarian month. Other months will be more fancy. I just want to get this one done so it can get it started because the 1st of October is in 3 days. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is draw a grid with 31 numbers and then a space to write what the habit is. I'll show you the first few lines of that once I decide if I'm going to start with the vertical or the horizontal. Looks like I'm going horizontal. I know it looks vertical, but it's because it's easier to draw when it's this way than it is to draw the other way. Wait, am I drawing a line under the numbers? Like, wait, where am I putting the line here? That looks good. We're just put the pen down. There you go. Draw the line. Okay. So this is going to be a whole lot of line drawing, and if you really want to watch that, send me a message. I'll be happy to send you the blank video without my talking over it, but I'm going to skip to the end because watching me draw a crap ton of lines is really not that exciting. So I'll be right back. So now I've got most of the lines drawn. You'll notice that I've left 2 lines undrawn. That's to make the vertical lines easier to draw so I can see where the dots are. Because the better job I do sticking to the lines when I'm drawing the horizontal, the harder it is to draw the vertical. Although none of this is perfect, and I know it, but that's okay. So the next step I'm going to do is write from 31 to 1 so I know how many vertical lines I need to draw, which tells me how much space I have left to title my habits. Now, the habits I track change pretty much every month. But over the last year, what I've tracked has changed tremendously. I'll go over that when I get to writing them down. But this is a whole lot of trying to write tiny enough that it stays in a box. And sometimes I'm better at that than others. I did a decent job this month, if I do say so myself. And again, we're using the color scheme. I will use the orange to fill in the boxes once they are done. So I'm going to skip ahead until all the numbers are written and I've got all the vertical lines between the numbers. So once again, I'll be right back. So now I've got myself a nice little grid pretty much drawn here. I'll fill in the boxes. Now, a lot of people use these for habits they want to do every day. And I do use it for habits that I want to do every day. However, some of my habits are not daily. They should be done every week or every couple of days. And I just realized as I'm voiceovering this that I forgot a habit I really wanted to have on here, but that's okay. I've got a timer in my phone that reminds me I need to call my friends on the weeks between trivia because I'm a crappy friend and I forget to call people because I got in the habit of assuming they didn't want to talk to me. And my friend Doom and Gloom gets very mad at me when I do that. Now I'm filling in the missing line, which I honestly have to kind of freehand because I can't see the dots because I've lined over them. But there you go. That's what the grid looks like. Now I need to decide what habits will I be tracking. And of course, there are some that I track every single time, like my meds, which are the first thing I write down. But things have also changed, like how many days do I wear makeup? How many days do I do my skincare? How often do I film or post videos? Like, it's my habit tracker, so it's things that I need to do on a regular basis, and I want to track how often I do them. So, yeah, my habit tracker is going to be different than your habit tracker, but this one is mine, and I just dipped the microphone cord in the lasagna. You can't see that, though. So each day, at the end of the day, in theory, or maybe early the next morning, I will go through with the orange marker and draw cross hatches on the things I did the day before. Sometimes I do it as I do it, but usually it's the next morning or the next evening because that's just my normal schedule. So I'm going to keep writing in the habits I'm going to track, and we're going to skip to the weekly. So here I have filled out every habit that I care to track. Now there is one that isn't crosshatch, and it's the bottom one, and it's my pain scale. Because I have multiple chronic illnesses, I do keep track of my pain level, which kind of helps me track items or events that cause the pain and things that bring it on. Is there a certain time in the month where it happens? I will already tell you, no, my pain is not in any way linked to my cycle because my cycle is all effed up. Because I'm sure you wanted to know that. So now for my weekly pages, I have already gone through with a pencil and kind of cross-hatched where I want the different sections, and you can vaguely see that. We're going to start with the dailies because I like to have a box for every day. Oops, just kidding. No, we're not. We're going to start with the monthly. I like to have the days of the month on every calendar just because that way I can keep, I don't know, I see how many weeks are left in the month. I don't know. When I started doing this a couple bullet journals ago, and I really like having that in the upper right corner. So there it shall stay. And it's literally just me writing the numbers of the month. I have a basic Sunday through Saturday calendar up there, checking what day the month starts on, and I'm writing 1 through 31. Isn't this fascinating, folks? Isn't it? While I'm doing that, I will tell you this entire process took me about an hour. I'm probably ending up cutting it down to about 35-ish minutes, maybe 40. I don't know. Depends on how much of the weekly I cut out. But the whole process takes a little more than an hour. And the weekly page itself takes about 15 to 20 minutes. So I don't do all 4 weeklies, or 5 in this case, in one shot. I'll typically do them, I'll do a couple, each night of the first week of the month, and then I try to do the monthly like the week before. I always highlight what week I'm on since this is the first week of the month. It gets the top highlight. I know you can't read the numbers through that, but since I used an orange to highlight over green or purple or whatever color I did there, I can read through it. Green. I used dark green and I can easily see it. I had to flip it open to see that. So this first section I am drawing, I'm just basically drawing lines where I want my different areas to go. Again, sometimes I make this a lot more artistic than I'm making now, but I am going for utilitarian this time. And this is going to be a to-do list where I can list all of the random things that I need to get done this week. Like, I will be putting things on there like plan the budget, I don't know, drop off water payment, put away laundry, whatever things that I have to do. These 2 larger sections, they pertain more to my social media. One is a to be filmed section and one is a to edit section, but I'll label everything later. Like I said, I have already planned out where everything's going to go. I am kind of double checking and counting. This section I'm putting in, I can't guarantee will be in future weeks. I haven't done this section before. And I just kind of freehand where some of the lines should go on this one. Because, I don't know, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Sitting here thinking, do I want to freehand it? Where do I want to put the lines? Because I'm putting a meal tracker of what I eat each day on here. Why? I don't know. I don't particularly track these things. I'm on a GLP shot, so I eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm not because I'm usually not that hungry and will regularly skip meals. So I don't know, maybe this will help me not skip meals because that's not good for me. But I don't know. And then this top section, when I drew it, I knew one side was going to be for packages that I'm waiting on because I like to have a list of what's in the mail. So if they keep getting moved from week to week to week, I can reach out to the people and be like, hey, where's my stuff? But I've already done that today. I have 2 packages that are supposed to be in the mail. One says label created, and the situation is, or the post office is waiting for it. One says shipped, but hasn't updated any movement. So I'm like, what is going on? I have concerns. But I reached out, got answers. It's all good. Now I'm doing my dailies, and I'm leaving space at the top to write the word dailies. But even my daily schedule has like some sections. But this is where I will put things that I need to remember to do at certain times, things that need to happen on specific days. And sometimes this part gets more used than others. But I like having a daily box. I gave serious thought about using a bullet journal for my work planner because I need to track appointments across 3 locations now. And the planner I have really only has space for 1, but I've kind of made space for the other 2. But I decided I didn't want to go through all that work of setting that up or the expense of buying a whole ass bullet journal when I could just buy a little $5 doohickey. Now, why am I only sectioning off 5 days and then doing that? Because numbers wise, it made more sense to put the weekends at the bottom. Now, I tried making the actual day section of each weekend page smaller, but I don't like that because it doesn't align with the other 5 days and it makes me frustrated. Ezzy, you don't need to tear up chairs. You have a scratching post. Worst part of having a cat is they tear shit up. But declawing them is inhumane. Wolf just sprayed her with water. That'll get her out of here for a while. Okay, so what do all of these boxes mean? Well, the ones on the left-hand side will be the date. And I just very simply write the day of the week and the number. Shockingly innovative there, isn't it? I like having titles. Titles make me feel special, even though I know exactly what they are. The numbers I put in big letters or big thick writing because I pretty much know what day of the week they are based on where they are on the calendar, but I do put them just in case. So yeah. Super exciting things here, but it's utilitarian. And like I said, I have not done a bullet journal for about a year to a year and a half. So I'm getting back in the habit and I am figuring out what kind of layout works for me. It will change multiple times. Now, this section is going to be what videos are being posted each day because that is now an important part of my life. And I try to have a morning post, a noon post, and an evening post. My ideal would be to have all 3 of those every day. It doesn't happen. You know that. If you follow me, you know that. And no, bullet journal is not going to become a daily post because I do not work on my bullet journal every day. That's the whole point of this is I do it about once a month and then I don't have to do it again for a month. It is not... At one point in my life, working on my bullet journal was part of my daily routine that calmed me down and made me happy. But now I have way too much in my daily routine. My daily routine now consists of skincare and putting on makeup and working 9 hours with a 30-minute drive each way, so 10 hours. And going to trivia every other week and editing videos and doing diamond paintings. And I don't have space in my day to add an hour for the bullet journal and edit more videos. That's just not going to happen. So now I label everything else, packages and goals. I do like to have at least, 2 or 3 goals, overarching goals I'm working on each week. Do I accomplish them every week? Of course not. But I try. Just so you know, my goals for this week are to post 10 videos, film 10 videos, and not take naps. Now, the no nap rule does not apply to the weekend. I will absolutely take a Saturday nap. It makes me happy. That and well, my body is, I can see progress now of it getting adjusted to these 10-hour work days. Because I'm sorry, commute counts. It's still exhausting, and I do still have a chronic disease that is stress induced, so I still do things to relax myself. Oh, and then the middle box is my meal tracker. And I use the letters of the week a little differently than a lot of people. Instead of, MTHWTHRFSASU, I use MTWRS or FSU because R stand one of the places I used to work, R stood for Thursday, and that works for me. And Sunday is the only day of the week that has a U in it other than Tuesday, I just realized, but Tuesday's T. I don't know. My lettering system works. I think it should be adopted by the world because it is logical, but whatever. I didn't film it, but I did put little check boxes on the to-do. Right now I'm listing out the videos that I know I have to film next week. Although I realized as I was writing these, I put 2 videos that I have already filmed on the to be filmed. I put the Kidding Up Dad's diamond painting and the first Whatnot video, late night Whatnot purchase that has already arrived and been unboxed. Those Kidding Up Dad has already been edited and posted. The Whatnot has not been edited or posted yet. And in a little bit of meta here, the October bullet journal is in the to be edited file because I've obviously filmed it. And I'm in the process of editing it while I'm doing the voiceover. So by the time I am done with this video, I can cross that off the to be edited and get it posted. And I will check them off as I film them or edit them. And I will highlight them on the daily schedule as they are scheduled because I like to schedule my videos ahead because I'm not around to click post right at 10 a.m. every day. Generally, at 10 a.m. every day, I am calling patients to try to get their referrals taken care of, or I'm rooming patients, or I'm handling crises. I don't know. Now, I do take my lunch break pretty regularly between 11:45 and 12:15, but I promise you, I am not driving 30 minutes home, posting a video, and then driving back when I only have a 30-minute lunch break and there's an hour drive there. That ain't happening. So we pre-schedule our videos in this household. I'm filling in what videos I know are being posted. Obviously, well, not obviously, but they aren't all the videos that I plan to post, but I think I've got everything on there. As far as what does this layout work for me? For the most part, I think this is going to be a good layout. The only section I have questions on is the meal planning because that's not something that's of hyper importance to me. So I don't know if it's going to stick around, but I don't know what else to stick in there. But that is a good space where I could do something artsy on weeks where I'm not in a freaking hurry. So I might do that. Oh, I just remembered. Yeah, I've got to come up with goals. What should my goals be? And I'm counting in my head how many videos would be a realistic number to post. 10 seemed kind of realistic. Ideally, if I posted 3 videos a day, which is my overall goal, that would be 21 videos. But let's be honest. How often have I actually gotten 3 videos a day up? Exactly. So let's be realistic. Let's go for 10 videos. And if I'm going to post 10 videos, I need to film 10 videos. And the last one is no naps because I have been in the bad habit of coming home from work exhausted and crashing. Since I get home at 6, that means I sleep till 7:30 or 8, get up, spend an hour with Wolf, and go back to bed and sleep for 2 hours, and then I'm up and down all night. And that just does not work for me. So no naps when I get home from work. And then packages, I have 2 Whatnot packages I'm waiting on. So that's my weekly and that's my monthly setup. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later.